Hello, it's September. You've already seen the thumbnail, so you already know my choice of books for this month. And I don't know, I just find it so funny because I'm really craving to read something positive, life affirming, hopeful. You get what I mean. And honest to goodness, I'm not lying. I promise, okay? It just so happens that these two books stood out to me and they happen to be my favorite color, which is purple. That's why I picked them. Come to think of it, this is already the third reading vlog that I'm doing, which is about purple colored books. The first one I did January of last year. Purple, which is also fantasy books. And then just several weeks ago, I did a purple YA mystery themed reading vlog. And this is already the third time that I'm doing another purple themed reading vlog. It truly is my favorite color. I just thought that the titles of these books are perfectly appropriate since it's my birthday month. Notes on an Execution and I Want to Die but I Want to Eat Dokboki. My birthday reading month. Yes. One hard-hitting contemporary translated fiction by Baek Se-hee and one thriller, I believe. One mystery thriller by Dania Kukafka. When I purchased this book, I already have grand expectations of them, and the fact that I'm picking them, choosing them as my reads for my birthday month only doubles the height of that standard, so I think I'm gonna start with this one, because I'm honestly craving for dokboki right now. Dokboki, by the way, is a favorite snack of mine, so I will have no trouble resonating with this book for sure, because I really want to eat dokboki as well. It says at the back, why are we so bad at being honest about our feelings? Is it because we're so exhausted from living that we don't have the time to share them? I had an urge to find others who felt the way I did, so I decided, instead of aimlessly wandering in search of these others, to be the person they could look for, to hold my hand up high and shout, I'm right here, hoping that someone would see me waving, recognize themselves in me, and approach me so we could find comfort in each other's existence. I want to die, but I want to eat dokboki. Happy birthday to me. You know what? For a book that's tackling and discussing such a heavy, serious, difficult topic, this is quite a page turner. It's so easy to read. I mean, sure, it's quite short. It's almost like a novella in terms of length, but nevertheless, I was so captivated and so immersed. Anyways, only took me like 2 days. Technically, only several hours really, because I've been reading this after work before I go to sleep, so it took me 2 days to wrap this up. But if I ever binge this, it would only take me like several hours, I think. Unquestionably, a huge factor, a huge component of what makes this so easy to get lost in and why it's so easy to step into the shoes of the protagonist is because the format of this book is in the transcript of the conversations she's having with her psychiatrist. Just feels like you are eavesdropping somehow with the discussions that's taking place. I would have corrected this on my introduction clip, but this is a memoir. Because I mistakenly said during the introduction that this is translated fiction. It's translated, but correction, revise. This is a memoir. So this is definitely based on Baek Se-hee's real life. Another impressive thing about this book, by the way, I did say earlier that it so quickly discussed such a heavy topic, right? It's not just one. There are several issues that's touched upon by their conversations. And I was so enamored. I'm all ears. There's a talk about education, prejudice, beauty standards, of course, career challenges, office work culture, female friendships, and family dynamics. Of course, there's a lot. There's a lot. I wouldn't say the writing style is flowery or lyrical, but don't get me wrong, there's a lot of quotable quotes in here that I would love to read to you. I think this is the kind of book that you would definitely love to discuss in a book club setting, or just discuss it with someone that you trust, because wow, there are a lot of great insights exchanged. Amazing how it truly felt like a self-help book, because there's a lot of recommendations given to her, right? So it feels like as a reader, you're also adapting and growing. Your mind is expanding with all these ideas. So it truly feels like self-help, but it's in a memoir. So admittedly, there's a part, I think halfway through the book, where my mind was speculating, since this is a conversation between her and her psychiatrist, shouldn't they be co-authors? Because it's the two of them. But nevertheless, there are definitely great pieces of writing in between the conversations. There are sort of like essays or like diary entries that's written by Baek Se-hee that I really, really love as well. And there's also a portion written by the psychiatrist herself. So that's great. That's great. I want to read to you so many parts. Which one should I read? Which one should I read?
I've always looked at the past from the future's perspective. How would 28-year-old me look to 35-year-old me? Or 20-year-old me to 28-year-old me? Now I want to go to my past me's and tell them, you don't have to try so hard. Back when I had nothing, no future or college or money, when I was doing menial jobs right up to my university transfer exams, like cleaning up after students in rented study corrals or working the counter at fitness clubs from 6 in the morning, when my face looked like a bleak black and white film still in the mirror, could that girl have imagined she would become me one day? That she would graduate college, work at her dream publishing house doing someone she loved? How happy that would have made her. I've worked hard to get here, and now I make a living doing what I enjoy. I've no anxieties about whether this is the right path for me. All I want is to get better at it. That's enough for me. Why did I torture myself by comparing myself to someone else? If 20-year-old me met me today, she would cry with joy. And that's enough for me.
This is not a spoiler, but I really just want to tell you, or to share to you, that my most favorite takeaway from this book is how they talked about diversifying your outlook on things by finding the middle ground on everything, by not being extremely focused on just black and white. I love that so much. A gorgeous, gorgeous, wonderful beginning to this reading vlog and my birthday month. So I want to thank Baek Se-hee for writing this book, for being brave and taking courage. She says in this book she hates those kind of cliche statements, but nevertheless, thank you, Baek Se-hee. Thank you so much. It's always a struggle for me to rate memoirs, but I feel like I got what I came here for. I'm giving this 4.5 stars. I strongly recommend this book. I got entertained, I got educated, illuminated, comforted. Wow. And we move on to notes on an execution, and I have no words to explain or describe how thrilled I am to start this. Earlier this year, this one, the Edgar Awards. It's the award giving body for mystery novels, right? This one, the best novel, Edgar Awards 2023. I don't want to raise my hopes ridiculously high. I just really want to have a good time on my birthday, you know. So let's begin. You are a fingerprint. I'm back home from a wonderful night, a wonderful dinner out with my family, and they've been so lovely. I just really want to take some time off and gush about the sweet things that my family did for me for my birthday this year. My dad installed a new bookshelf for me. If I've not talked about it yet before, my dad was the one who created this hanging bookshelf. He installed a new small bookshelf that I have now on it's beside my bed. It's perfect because I have just hold a lot of books, right? My most recent one. And I'm just so happy. My mom is paying attention to my tabbing, so she knows how I always order this colorful tabs and how I sort of struggle organizing them. So she bought this, I don't know how to call it. It's like an organizer where I can put in my tab colors. Also, an episode that I haven't really discussed yet. On the last book haul that I did, the very first one that I have unboxed, that was the very purchase that I made. Those two books are nearly 2,000 bucks that I bought from Jason's, right? And there's a roller coaster journey for that delivery because we were in the province the time that it got delivered to the house. We were not around. And it just vanished. But it got marked as delivered on the app. So I'm so clueless on where it is. So I was telling my brother Darren that I'm down and sort of depressed because we couldn't find the books. So he used his connections in order to search for it. And he was able to get it. So, and of course, my brother, my sibling Daniel, who always spoils me big time, always know how to make me happy, fully book gift certificate, of course. When I discovered how much this card holds, the amount it's for, I was in such a state of shock that I could not say anything. And I was telling him, is this a prank? My family really did their best to make my reader self joyful. Thank you. Thank you, family. But of course, we're getting to the heart of it all. Finally finished. Notes on an execution. Before I start gushing about this book though, I want to present an evidence because I definitely said this a few months earlier. First quarter of this year, I believe. But my favorite genres have always been literary fiction, historical fiction, psychological thriller, anything coming of age, contemporary. I could go on. I could go on and on. All those genres that I mentioned, all here. All the things that I love best, I have read on my birthday reading month. I have finished on a day of my birthday and gave it 5 stars. I wish I could enumerate all of the synonyms of the word phenomenal, because phenomenal in every sense of the word, in all aspects. The hype, so rightfully deserved. The writing is astounding, outstanding. The themes, the subjects, the plot, extraordinary, brilliant, magnificent. The adjectives are not enough. I love this book so much. I will exaggerate in every single way that I could, because it's not really much of a spoiler since it's pretty much here on the cover, and much has already been said about what this book is about. It is indeed a searing portrait of the complicated women caught in the orbit of a serial killer. That is what it is about, so no spoiler in that. And I think I could say, right, this is not to ruin the plot for you, but that is one of the favorite things that I have about this book. I mean, everything is my favorite, but that is a very strong aspect of this book that I love so much. And this reminds me a lot of yet another book that I love in that respect. This is All the Things We Do in the Dark by Sandra Mitchell. And it's fascinating to me that they're both purple. They're both parts of a theme reading vlog featuring purple designed books. So, what does that say? It's magical. It's a magical coincidence, right? Because this book too also did that. It focused on the victim instead of romanticizing the suspects, which is often what true crime fiction does, right? So these two books are in conversation with each other. I almost want to have these two authors talk to each other, read each other's books, and find out their thoughts. Also, I'm probably just overthinking, and I'm just probably being delusional about this, because I have this on a themed reading vlog featuring a purple cover design, right? But it seems to me like Dania Kokafka is really pushing the color purple in the storytelling. I won't tell you what these are about, but I'm gonna drop these words, okay? If you're ever gonna pick up this book, you would understand, right? Lavender, amethyst, purple was dropped once, and then saffron. I was very, very curious. I googled it, and this is what I found. So, it's the kind of book that you would really, really love to talk about with friends. And I don't know, I'm just so happy that I managed to get a copy of this book, because it's so hard to find in our country. And there's one particular part, because I don't want to pick the latter parts of this book, but I want to read to you something early on that made me so speechless, okay? Early on. Let me read that to you. So in this part, the serial killer, his name is Ansel, right? In this part, what's being discussed is his aspiration to write about something, in particular about infinity and alternate universes, and this is how it goes.
Yes, you said. On Infinity explores the concept of choice. We have billions of potential lives, thousands of alternate universes, running like streams beneath our current reality. If morality is determined by our choices, then we must also consider those other universes in which we've made different ones. Where are you in those? The warden asked. Where am I? In those other lives, the warden said. Where are you, if you're not here? I don't know, you said. The options are infinite. Our alternate selves live in another dimension, multiplying just outside our line of sight. I could be a writer, or a philosopher, or a baseball player. The possibilities are endless. They prove that who I am, my goodness or my badness, it's fluctuating. Morality is not fixed. It's fluid, ever-changing. The warden seemed to ponder. Then where would they be now? The warden asked. Who? Those girls, Ansel. In an alternate world, a world in which you had not killed them, what would they be doing in this exact moment?
When I reached that part, I had to close the book. I am now a Danya Kukafka stan. I want to meet her and thank her for writing this book and tell her how much I am in awe of her writing. Notes on an Execution, a masterpiece. A successful birthday reading vlog. Oh, I couldn't wish for anything more. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here.